Hello, this is Lee back once again for another video, and I want to talk a little bit about the end of the WWE 2k series. Yes, the end. And when I say the end, I do mean the end of an era. You see, WWE 13 was a 2012 video game released on the Xbox 360 and PS3. And, the series continued every year as if it were a sports series, but it was wrestling, professional wrestling, fighting games. So we had the company known as 2K Games, known for 2K Sports, take over the series for better, for worse. The 2K14, 2K15, 2K16, 2K17. This past year's game, and now 2K18 is out. But guess what? And we've known this for a while. 2K18 is only for the PC on Steam, soon the Nintendo Switch, in kind of scaled down form, and then the Xbox One and the PS4. So no more 360 or PS3 2K. And in fact, on June 1st, 2017, the 2K17 servers will be shut down, which means you can only play online with, I think it's SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, and maybe the 2007 through 2010, and maybe 11, possibly 12 with some glitches. I've heard different things, different rumors from different players, but those games are a little different than the series as we know it. 2K14 was a game I loved. 15, slightly less so. 16 kind of improved what was missing and lacking in 15. 17 was basically more the same. I played it mostly for the multiplayer online with friends that I'd made from 14. But that's all going to be gone soon. It's too bad, really. So I'm just going to kind of recap. I've done so many videos about the 2K series. But overall, let's look at them. Over those 2 years, what did you have? You had a series of wrestling games where the main strength was the creation suite. The fact that you could create just about any wrestler, male or female, you could imagine. You could create a lot of interesting fictional characters and put them into matches. And it was amazing to see the creativity, the community creations. If you had Xbox Live Gold or the PlayStation Network, you could download hundreds of characters. And later in the series, they introduced limits on how much you could download per day, which is kind of sad. They removed a lot of features after 14, taking away the create a story mode and all these kinds of things. Now, 2K18, from what I understand, it's a whole game. The WWE 2K games on the Xbox One, PS4, PC through Steam were all different. The gameplay was slowed down. It was much more of a simulation. They introduced things like limited reversals and little mini games where you had to find the sweet spot. That's all different. The old games were much more arcade style, but they were SmackDown versus Raw games where you just kind of mashed the buttons and hoped for the best. This is much more based on timing. And the lag made it bad. There were some downsides to the series, really. There was a lot of lag, which did affect matches. People would stall and delay before they attack people. They would drag the bodies around before they'd fight attack. It was very annoying. It was a high degree of cheating. People called it modding or hacking. A lot of people cheated with impunity. Supposedly in 2K18, these people get banned right away, which is nice. Why didn't they do that before? Who knows? So all these cheaters were allowed to run around and kind of ruin the community. So every 5th or 6th game you played was someone just doing the same finisher repeatedly to you until you lost. And you couldn't reverse any of it because it was a hack, a cheat. And you had, these clans that would kind of deluge the community creations with the same characters, with the same moves, all the cheapest possible moves together. But there was a lot of fun to be had, a lot of great matches, a lot of random matches you could set up. Just start a match and see who joins, and play and have fun. And some people would take it too seriously, trash talk, but that's any multiplayer online game. Welcome to the internet. That's just how it is. But as far as wrestling games go, there just isn't a lot of offering anymore these days. 2K just kind of dominated the whole scene. But I enjoyed the single player in 14. Well, 13 was great. It was the Attitude Era. They went through all those historic matches, the edgier times of WWF. 14 had the Road to WrestleMania. Well, no, 30 years of WrestleMania. Road to WrestleMania was the old single player in the old games, but the 30 years of WrestleMania had 29 uh, eras going through each WrestleMania, the main events. So that was cool. That was fun. It was variety. You didn't have time to get bored. And there's Beat the Streak, where you just had to fight The Undertaker, and they made him ridiculously overpowered. And when you finally outsmarted him and beat him, it was just great. It was fun. So you tried to play him with different people, see how well you could do, post your score online. 2K15 had kind of a lackluster single player to start with, but the DLC of the season pass of 2K15 was amazing. I mean, they had all the. If you hated John Cena, you're gonna hate him because there was a huge campaign devoted to him, based in the game, and there was an NXT thing where you beat up John Cena. There you go, kind of like a Beat the Streak, but for John Cena instead of the Undertaker, not as good. But they had a whole campaign devoted to the Ultimate Warrior, one to Mark Henry, one to various tag team feuds. And things like that. So a lot of content, probably the most content of all of the 2K series in 15, because they had taken away so many features. It didn't suffer as much on the Xbox 360 and PS3 as it did on the Xbox One and PS4, which is I think like the lowest rated of the whole series. Then 16, you had the Stone Cold Steve Austin, his storyline, which is okay. If you're a big fan of his, I'm sure you enjoyed it. And there was a Hall of Fame showcase, so that year's Hall of Fame cast, and a match or two each for each of those entrants. And then 17 had the Hall of Fame showcase was really the only single player storyline. And the objectives got a little more complicated as it went along, but really the Attitude Era in 13 and the 30 years of WrestleMania in 14 were the best, I think, in terms of quality. In terms of quantity, 15, hands down. And, of course, even without a play for those games, they shut down the servers after 2 years from the release of each of these games, which was really too bad. You kind of got screwed over. And eventually they take away the DLC as well, unless you bought the digital version. So that kind of planned obsolescence was kind of a sticking point for me. I disliked that very much. I thought that was a bad policy. I mean, older games than these still have their online DLC and their online multiplayer and their customization. So I think that's really sad that they exploited fans and kind of nickeled and dimed and then cheated them that way by shutting that down. But nevertheless, it was an enjoyable series while it lasted. Really, though, they could have just released one game and just had DLC packs every year for it instead of releasing a whole new game full price just to have a new roster and a couple different arenas. But whatever. So it's a shame the series will be going away. I guess I'll have to play other games after that. I enjoy playing offline. Offline is every bit as good as playing online, except, you gotta find people that are good to play against. One thing that will be missing for the 2K games, offline, is the 6-player mode, the 5 and 6-player matches. Because you can only play with 4 people on a PS3 or Xbox 360. So if you're playing Elimination Chamber, you gotta have 4 human players, but 2 computers. Same with the Battle Royals and the Armageddon Hell in a Cell. And if you're gonna have a special referee tag team match, you gotta have one person that's a computer. So that's how it is. Too bad. If they'd put LAN play or something like that, System Link, in there, then people could have hacked it to be playable even after the server shut down. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So shame on 2K Games for that. I've said my piece about this series, but until June 1st of 2017, there's still going to be at least one game in the series alive online. So I'm going to be playing that as much as I can. I do other things, but I do want to play that and, download as many characters as I can. But it's online community, you understand. So, Anyway, I hope that there's going to be other wrestling video games. I'm very interested in Fire Pro Wrestling World for the PC. It may even be possible to play some of these older games, the SmackDown vs. Raw games, or maybe TNA Impact. Who knows? But sadly, the 2K series coming to an end. A flawed series, but a series with so much potential. A lot of wasted potential, if you ask me, but a lot of potential nonetheless. So enjoy it while you can. Thanks for watching, and very soon I won't be talking about the series very much anymore, so you'll be done with that. I don't plan on getting an Xbox One anytime soon, so I'll probably be missing 2K18, which is too bad because it sounds like they're putting back in a lot of things that we're missing from that next generation series, making it more like the old games, which is a good thing because the old games were good. I mean, other than the cheating and the lag and the glitches, and the fact they kept taking away features, it was a pretty good series, pretty fun. Speed up that action. Don't put all the work into these lackluster My Career modes. Make customization very open-ended. Ban the cheaters, please. Police that game. And maybe they can start adding in features that are good, like more than 8 players, online, Royal Rumbles, online title matches, that type of thing. That would be great. Backstage brawls where you can go from the arena to backstage and out into the streets or whatever. There's so many good things they could do. A My Career mode that's actually good. Who could imagine such a thing? But anyway, that's the end. So I'll see you in the ring or somewhere.